Pablo, but I'm back to the video. We could be right. That was freaking loud. Ow. We could be back to Ponytails, MOP, fanfic, heart, sad slash drama. Diamond Yard gets Scootaloo to be a boy with her. Hold up. What are they doing to ponies now? Bully with her. By Scribbler Productions. She needs no introduction. Scribbler Productions needs no introduction. This video was suggested to me by myself. I found it, wanted to do it, and yeah, if you look at all these, I gotta delete that one. Right. Mouse going fast, bruh. Mouse going fast. I'm barely moving my hand. The mouse going fast. Moving playlists. Oh shoot. The freak game. Tell me what you on. What was the other one that we can delete? Okay. Guess I don't have it saved. Whatever. My bad. Anyways, yeah, I wanted to do this one. I mean, just do something. I could have done the if Apple made a city or whatever that Twilight Sparkle suggested me. What the freaking call? If Apple made a city, the movie. Yeah, I'll probably do that one soon. I don't know if I'll do it next, but probably do it soon. I do gotta get to that, but I wanted to do this one real quick. I want to see what this one is. And yeah, let's go ahead and go. 43 minutes, 50 seconds. So
just be happy with who you are.
Scribbler Productions.
Hey you! Yes, you, watching this video. Do you want to own a piece of Scribbler? Only not a lock of hair or blood or flesh or anything else that will get you in trouble with the law? Well, now you can, with t-shirts, hoodies, tote bags and mugs featuring Obab Scribbler at her Teespring store. You know you want to. I shall now stop talking in third person and send you on to the video. Be lovely to each other and enjoy the show.
But didn't think about it this time. I hate this lighting. This lighting is trash. Woo. Heart, written by the worst writer.
Cheerily tried to hide her frown as she passed by Scootaloo's desk, placing the math test face down before trotting back toward her own desk. Scootaloo stared at the slightly wrinkled paper for a moment, before cringing and cautiously flipping it over. A deep crimson F and a frowny face sticker glared up at her. She'd scored only 52%. One quick quiver of her lower lip was all that escaped before she slumped down in her seat, trying to hide from the world. The creaky old wood of her chair let out a groan that would have drawn attention if her classmates were paying any. They were not. All around her, fillies and colts either buzzed with confidence or crumpled up and threw away their exams without a care. But not her. She'd failed too miserably to pretend to be proud of herself, but she couldn't shrug it off either. Scootaloo sighed, grateful for the fact that no pony was looking at her, but not much else. At the end of the month, every pony in class would be going on a week-long camping trip in the Whitetail Woods, with only the flimsiest pretense of it being educational, and all the intent in the world to have fun.
Why didn't I get that as a kid,
and
bro?
Archery, and swimming, and a dozen other things would reward the students for all of their hard work.
I don't want to die from a freaking
Every
piranha.
pony would revel in an experience they would fondly remember for years. Except, of course, for those dumb enough to be left behind to study.
Dumb enough?
A tap on her shoulder snapped her to attention, and she turned around to see what Sweetie Belle wanted, managing to morph her sullen face into a relatively bright mask.
How'd you do?
Sweetie Belle asked cheerfully.
Oh,
Calm down.
Scootaloo trailed off, dropping the act and grimacing heavily. She rubbed a hoof against the back of her neck.
What, bro?
Not good.
Sweetie Belle frowned and turned her gaze downward.
Oh, I think you and Apple Bloom probably shouldn't count on me going with you. Well, it's not over yet.
Sweetie Belle chirped.
What do you mean
it's
not over yet?
She put a hoof on Scootaloo's shoulder and offered a reassuring smile.
Yeah, it is.
If you do really good on the next one, I think you could still make it. Your grade isn't on Selav.
Her face scrunched up and her tongue poked out of her mouth as she concentrated.
Unsalvageable. Unsalvageable.
She finally said, beaming with pride.
Not unsuccessful.
Just then, the bell rang, and the classroom roared to life.
Oh, remember class, we've got a spelling test coming up soon, so make sure you study hard.
Scootaloo ain't
Cheerily
nah,
yelled over her
Scootaloo's dumb.
students' conversations.
Class is dismissed.
A veritable stampede
Scootaloo
barreled
ain't- nah,
across the
she ain't
room and
going.
out the door,
It's over.
while Cheerily collected her things and hummed a jaunty
over.
tune.
Ooh, maybe we could get study cutie marks.
Scootaloo rolled her eyes.
When was this upload?
what do y'all want to do today?
Appleblossom asked as she approached her friends.
2 months ago.
Do you think I want to fail? Don't you think I'm already trying hard?
No,
Anger sparked in the little
You're not.
Pegasus's eyes,
because
prodding
you
her friend
trash.
sharply with a hoof before folding her limbs over her chest and her face into a pout. Cheerily paused and looked over
What?
at the quarreling crusaders.
Girls,
Garbage.
is everything all right?
No.
Everything's fine, Miss Cheerilee.
Scootaloo shouted
Stop
toward the front of the
screaming.
room.
Yeah, you shouting.
She turned
Stop
back
screaming.
to face Sweetie Belle, but refused to make eye contact.
Sorry I
Hermione.
snapped at you like that.
Scootaloo slid the paper off the desk and into her saddlebag,
Well,
where
too
she
late
couldn't
now.
see it.
Y'all ain't gonna
Then
be
she
friends.
slid herself out
Nightmare
of her
coming
chair
to reality.
and began marching toward the door.
I'll see you girls tomorrow.
Comment down below if you know
I've
where
got
I'm
stuff to
from.
do.
Sweetie Belle took a step after her,
Actually, it
but
really wasn't
stopped herself.
Scootaloo's nightmare. It was
Her
Apple's
forehead
nightmare,
creased
but
with
whatever.
worry. She turned to Applebloom and asked,
Do you
Same thing.
think she'll get to go?
Nah. Think you get to go, bruh? No. Yo. Ow. Caffeine.
Trotting swiftly home, Scootaloo stopped when she heard a voice calling from the side of the road.
You looked upset today, Blank Flank. Still mad you can't ride your scooter near the school?
She scowled.
I don't have time for you right now,
Clean up on all 3.
you stuck up little.
Hey, no need to bite.
First of all, I don't know if y'all seen what I did, so I'm gonna spoil the joke. I didn't know if y'all seen what I did. In case y'all didn't.
My head off? Chickens.
I gotta get me a freaking prop gun, bro, just for these moments right here. I gotta be like Corey S. Kinsey to get me a shotgun, man. I'm about to get me one. I'm
They're
about
made
to
to
get me
be
one.
awkward tomcalls with no talent. Not like carnivores or whatever.
Just leave me alone. I have enough to deal with right now without you making things worse.
A wicked grin crept across Diamond Tiara's face.
You know, I might have something that could totally clear up your problem.
Scootaloo turned around and raised an eyebrow.
What do you know, huh?
You know, if you get like 100% on the spelling test, your grade would probably be high enough.
Diamond Tiara said, stepping towards Scootaloo.
So what if you're right? How am I gonna get a perfect score?
Diamond Tiara rolled her eyes.
You really are dense.
She leaned in next to
Ow,
Scootaloo and pressed her
Scootaloo.
muzzle up to her ear.
Ooh, you gonna take it like
I have
that?
the answers.
Jolting backwards, Scootaloo stammered.
Cheat? No way!
She stood straight and defiant, glaring at Diamond Tiara.
I may be a lot of things, but I am not a cheater. And besides, my grades aren't that bad that I need to be perfect to fix them.
Diamond Tiara stared silently at her for a few seconds before replying.
Suit yourself.
Then she turned around and turned her nose up.
I'll see you at the campsite.
She said, before looking back and snickering.
Or not.
They harsh,
She giggled,
man. They are
sashaying
freaking
away.
harsh.
Scootaloo's nostrils
Bro.
flared. She thought she smelled a dying campfire.
Probably did.
The minute hand on the clock perched just to the left of the 12, and Scootaloo bit her lip. Her mind blanked completely. She grabbed her pencil and hastily scrawled a guess only a moment before the clock ticked forward. Cheerily glanced up at the clock and cleared her throat.
Okay, class, time's up. Every pony pass your papers to the left and then forward.
Shoving the spelling test away from herself as though it were plagued, Scootaloo's head thudded into her desk. She
Ow.
closed her eyes and took a deep breath, filling her quaking lungs with musty air from the heavily worn wood. With the last of the tests collected in Diamond Tiara's hooves, Cheerilee trotted forward, picked up the stack, and set it in a wire basket marked "In," before blinking at it.
Actually, class, how about you all take a short recess while I grade these? That way you won't have to wait until Monday to know how you did.
She peeked up at the clock again.
Don't get too excited, though. It'll be a very short one.
Cheers erupted. Fillies and colts clambered out of their seats and raced for the sunshine. Scootaloo dragged herself out of her seat and plodded across the floor without a hint of enthusiasm. Stepping into the fresh spring air, she kept her head low and her eyes lower as she made her way past the playground and toward the old oak tree. She dropped against the base of it and sighed.
Come on, Scoots, I'm sure you did fine. This one wasn't so bad, and you definitely studied good and hard.
Applebloom called from nearby.
Maybe.
She mumbled, lifting her head and making eye contact with the first pony since that morning.
I mean, I think I got most of them right, but I know I screwed up a few. Especially that last one.
Sweetie Belle finished her approach and smiled sheepishly.
I'm Sal.
Hold up, everyone. I think I found a shotgun I'm gonna get for the videos.
Max Action Hunting Series. Pump
I don't want to get copyrighted. Alright, shut up. I don't know if this will... Oh, yeah, I think I found the one for the videos, you know? I like this. Let's go ahead and start, because we're only 9 minutes in.
Eligible?
12 minutes
Yeah,
into recording.
that.
Scootaloo droned, letting her head fall back against the soft grass under the shade of the solid oak. She curled into the shadow of the tree, shunning the sun's warm light.
UNSALVAGEABLE.
Sweetie stated firmly. Mouthing each of the letters in slow motion and nodding her head after each recitation, Scootaloo's lips curved upwards a bit, and she rose up on her hooves.
I think I got that one.
Applebloom scooped her into a tight hug.
See, it'll be fine, so stop wallowing so much. You
Dang.
ain't been the same lately.
Chill.
I know. I'm sorry, girls. I just... My grades weren't the best,
What?
and I was really worried I'd have to stay behind.
She
Why
suppressed
you
a sniffle.
garbage? Let's be honest.
Sweetie Belle joined the embrace,
bad. I'm sorry,
and together
not really.
the three fillies brightened up the chilly, dark patch of shade, only to be interrupted by Cheerilee's curt shout.
Recess is over, class.
Mutters of disappointment emanated across the schoolyard as the reverie was cut short and the foals marched solemnly back into the classroom. Cheerilee began pacing up and down the rows of desks, depositing one slip of paper on each. Scootaloo shivered with wide eyes as Cheerilee's stack dwindled and the distance closed. Her eyebrows rose hopefully when Cheerilee paused at her, holding on to the last test. Cheerilee only briefly made eye contact before darting her gaze away and sliding Scootaloo's fate
She failed.
face down in front
Her
of her.
fate. Hold
She
up.
trotted briskly away.
Ow. She ain't
With
gonna
trembling
die.
hooves, Scootaloo rotated the paper over so that she could discover her destiny. Her body
Bro.
shuddered, as if racked by a sob, but she made no sound save a tiny squeak of disappointment at the paltry red number and the accompanying frowny.
Okay, everyone, I'm back. My bad. Let's go.
Here's the schedule we'll be following for the rest of this month. As you can see, we don't have any ordinary field trips or guest speakers planned, but we do have our fantastic camping trip to look forward to. Just don't forget that there is one more math test next week.
She smiled and looked out over
Better
the
not
classroom.
fail, Scootaloo.
Now, let's go over the answers to the spelling test we just finished.
Scootaloo's heart raced. She recalled what scores she could and focused with all her might on crunching the numbers correctly as she added up her current grade. With a lot of hard work and more than a bit of luck, it just might
Oh, so she didn't fail yet, did she? She don't know if she... I could have sworn it said red letters and a frowny face.
have been possible for an excellent score on the last math test to push her grade
Okay,
high
yeah.
enough.
She did fail
The
on
more
that
she
spelling.
went over it, the more excited she became to realize that it was possible. Finishing her arithmetic decathlon, her shoulders sagged.
Oh, what?
98%. She would need a nigh perfect score to make the cutoff, and no matter how hard she studied, she was certain she could never reach such a peak. Cheerilee kept
You
smiling
need
as she
90
finished reviewing the spelling
98,
words
was
and
it?
switched to a lecture about history. Scootaloo couldn't bring herself to pay any attention, instead spiraling around the ruins of dreams
Probably
dashed
should.
by
You know that
failure.
math test is going to have some history
Hardly
on it.
noticing that class had ended until Applebloom shook her
People
out
are
of her
stupid.
stupor, Scootaloo stashed her spelling
And by
test
people, I
in the
mean teachers.
dark, forgotten
But whatever.
corner of her saddlebag as she stood up.
Dyke.
You come,
Dyke.
Skittle?
She looked to the front of the
No,
room,
she's not
where
coming. What do you
Cheerilee
mean?
happily hummed,
Idiot.
shuffling papers about.
She's going to stay there and
Wait a minute.
suffer.
Go on without me. I'll catch up.
Applebloom shrugged and turned to Sweetie Belle. The two began
Set that
chatting
up with
idly
three.
as they made for the door. Scootaloo approached the
My
teacher's
back is
desk
hurting.
with
All right? Bear
trepidation.
with me.
Miss Cheerilee,
Oh, hello there. What can I do for you, Scootaloo?
She asked, setting aside other tasks and giving her full attention to her student.
about the camping trip,
Scootaloo said, scuffing a hoof against the floor.
what I need on that math test to make it?
Cheerilee leaned down and rested a hoof on Scootaloo's shoulder.
I know you're concerned, and I would love to help, but I'm afraid I can't do much. I can bend and round the numbers a little, but I don't think I can
Wow.
let you go with less than 95%.
She frowned.
I'm sorry.
Scootaloo fought through another
Don't
sob-like retch,
you make the rules?
forcing down the moisture threatening to bead up in the corners of her eyes.
Don't you
She
make the
faked a
rules,
smile.
Cheerilee?
Okay. Thank you.
I know you're actually a very smart little filly, Scootaloo.
She's
I
dumb.
believe you can do it if you
The
apply
facts
yourself.
prove it.
She nodded once and turned around, dropping her smile, but
Bruh.
holding her head up until she'd made it out of eyesight. She wandered out of the building and stared wistfully into the sky. Her introspection was interrupted by a loud cough, and she turned to see
Diamond
Diamond
Tiara.
Tiara leaning against a fence.
So, I heard a rumor you're not going to be coming with us on the camping trip. Is that, like,
Who
true?
said that?
What
Who
do
says
you want?
Like,
can
duh,
still make it.
for you to come
E95.
too.
Scootaloo squinted and wrinkled her eyebrows.
You expect me to buy that?
Diamond Tiara laughed.
I guess not. Look,
No.
Blank, I can help you. Do you
You
want
just
to
called
go
her
or
a blank
not?
Frank again. Frank,
Scootaloo's glare answered the
again,
question.
bro.
I can
Like,
get you the
come on
grade
now.
you need, and then
Yeah,
you
go
can
ahead.
come. All you have to do is promise to do me 3 small favors.
Oh, what?
Like what?
I don't know yet. But they'll be little things like having to say something to some pony. You won't have to fight or give me anything of yours. No blood, no bits, nothing like that. Just words and small gestures.
And how exactly does this even work?
That's gonna
Oh, that
ruin her
part's like
reputation.
totally easy. Miss Cheerilee always has every pony pass their test to the left and to the front.
Scootaloo blinked.
And
With a roll of her eyes, Diamond Tiara sighed.
You really are dumb. I sit all the way in the front and all the way on the left. Since I'm handling a bunch of papers at once, no pony will notice if I shuffle one or two around a little. I'll totally turn in a cheat sheet with your name on it, instead of your miserable answers. So come on, what do you say?
A gust of wind howled by, and Scootaloo shivered.
I'll be back, everyone. Okay, everyone, I'm back. Hopefully I don't get interrupted again. Let's go. Okay, spacebar. Let's go. Appreciate it.
I don't know.
Sunlight glinted off Diamond Tiara's painfully white teeth.
There's
as she
Silver Spoon
smiled.
right there, bro. Nah.
The expected
right there,
perfection of
Silver
her
Spoon, bro.
smile was
Right there,
replaced
right
by
there.
an almost
Yeah, Silver Spoon.
intentional crookedness to the smug grin.
Do you really think you can make it without me?
She can, but she won't.
Oh, and before
Because
you all
you
go, I have yesterday's math test graded. If you would all line up
Let's
single
give it to the
file near
point.
the door, I can hand them out to you as you leave. Congratulations to those of you who'll be coming camping on Monday. I'm happy to report that most of you made it. But if you didn't, don't despair. These last several exams have been particularly tough.
Scootaloo shot out of her seat, coming to a stop just in front of Cheerilee. She swallowed a lump in her throat as a nervous sweat began beading up on her forehead. Cheerilee smiled as she hoofed Scootaloo her test, and Scootaloo blurred out the door and around a corner. She slammed herself up against a wall and squeezed her eyes shut, holding the paper out in front of her and fighting to slide one eye open.
Bro.
When she finally managed to peer through the gap in her eyelids, she flew through
passed.
momentary despair, confusion, then joy.
Yeah.
She
passed.
almost cried at discovering she did not score 100% and the accompanying gold star, but quickly swapped to bewilderment. 98% and a smiling flower. After a moment of contemplation, all trace of negativity drained out of her as she realized she'd made it. Her grade was secured.
But that pony's all
Squealing with
switched
delight,
out.
Scootaloo shoved the paper into her bag with the others and tore around the corner, only to come skidding to a stop in front of Diamond Tiara.
I told you.
Yeah, you were right. I gotta get to the clubhouse. I can't wait to tell the Crusaders the good news.
She leaned into the first step of
You're
a
missing
gallop,
something, Scootaloo.
only to be held back by a hoof.
Not so fast.
Yeah.
There are two sides to the bargain, you know.
Oh, yeah. Am I doing one of your favors now?
Diamond Tiara nodded.
I
Gonna
need you to
regret.
walk past Snips and Snails and say something about how easy that math test was. Loud enough for them to hear you.
That's it?
That's not all it
Scootaloo's
is.
face strewed into a
That's gonna.
quizzical
They
expression of
both
disbelief.
failed the test.
That's the first favor?
They both
Didn't
failed
I
the
say
test.
they'd just be little things?
They both failed the
I
test.
guess you did. Alright then.
They failed it,
you
bro.
want me to get you
No.
favors now?
Nope. I'll let you know when it's time. Just go do like I told you, and then you're free to go get covered in tree sap, or whatever it is you and your friends like to do.
Diamond Tiara smiled that same unpleasantly crooked smile.
Okay then. Guess I'll go do that. Listen, I never thought I'd be saying this to you of all
Don't say
ponies,
thank you. Don't say it. Don't say it.
but thank you.
Scootaloo said with a blush.
You are
No,
dumb.
no, thank you. Now go on. You have a job to do.
Scootaloo quickly spotted Snips and Snails just ahead.
Boy,
Adjusting
they
her
both
course
failed
so
the
that she
test.
passed
Are
by
you
them on her
dumb
way,
or are you
and waving
stupid?
back at Diamond Tiara as she set
Or
off.
both. Times
Snips and
quadrillion.
Snails were both trotting slowly down the road when she caught up to them.
Gee, I can't believe how simple that math test was. Even I got an A this time.
She shouted,
hadn't
badly
had to
failing
say
to
all
mimic
that.
natural musing with her comically overstated line. She had wanted to be certain she was both heard and understood. Continuing on down the road, Scootaloo barely noticed that Snips and Snails' hoofsteps stopped.
Yep. And that was Silver Spoon right there, by the way, on the left. There's Sweetie Belle right there, too, and on the white apple bloom.
The lake gleamed in the
What?
gloriously sunny center of the campsite, almost as brightly as Scootaloo's sparkling eyes. She breathed in the scents of pine
They
and
failed the
dew
test
and
and they won't
crisp,
be there.
clean air as she set
Boy.
hoof into the beginning of the beautiful week. She was melting in
No. Snip and Snails is stupid to begin with. Like, they just failed the test just themselves, right? I'm thinking maybe Diamond Tiara switched out one of their papers with Scootaloo's. But that couldn't be the case because they're both unhappy unless one of them, or unless they both didn't make it, or maybe one of them did make it and then the other one didn't because of that swap out. That's what I'm thinking. But I don't think we'll ever know. I want to know whose paper she switched out with Scootaloo's. She had to switch out somebody's. So somebody has Scootaloo paper. Someone does. Someone has to have it. I mean, if they make good grades on the other ones, then they'll still be able to go. Unless Scootaloo literally did that bad. Then maybe not. And she probably did do that bad. So maybe that's why. I don't know. Maybe they both failed. Maybe one of them passed and then the other one didn't because of that swap out. But Snails. Snails is the stupidest one. Snips ain't. I think it's Snip, the buttball player, you know. He ain't that dumb. The unicorn. Well, they're both unicorns. Freak. It's been a while since I've seen the show, okay? Chill. But yeah, I think it's Snips. It's been so long since I can't even remember their names. Search up. Shut up. Search up images of Snips, My Little Pony.
Here are some images of Snips, My Little Pony from the web.
Yeah, so it's Snail. Oh, I had them backwards. Yeah, so Snails is the one. Snails ain't that dumb, I don't think. I mean, he don't seem like it in Buttball, but I don't know. I don't know why, like, either they both failed or maybe one's going, maybe, I don't know.
Deliciously contradictory
They swapped out her
relaxation
paper.
and anticipation.
Or Diamond Tiara did somehow.
When she noticed Sweetie Belle
Someone
waving
had
her
her
over
paper.
toward a circle of stones that all the other ponies seemed to be gathering in. Cantering over to join her friend, she
I don't know,
glanced around and felt a pang of sorrow that
don't.
she couldn't place.
Welcome, students.
Cheerily exclaimed. Scootaloo tuned her out as the source of her unease began to come into focus. Something was missing. She turned to Sweetie Belle and asked,
Where's Apple Bloom?
Oh,
Sweetie Belle
Apple.
smiled.
Look
Oh,
at the
she's
Snails.
picking apples. There are a few apple trees over there.
She pointed off to the west.
And she said she couldn't leave without getting a view.
Oh, okay.
Furrowing her brow, Scootaloo scanned the circle once again before it clicked.
What about Snips and Snails?
Huh?
Sweetie Belle tilted her head to one side.
I don't think they got to come.
Frowning at this, Scootaloo scrambled through a thicket of unusually thorny feelings. Why had Diamond Tiara made her say that to them? If she knew they had failed...
What do you
Her
mean?
stomach churned.
That's
She
exactly.
knew Diamond Tiara couldn't ever have been a decent pony, but that kind of cruelty was a new low. Kicking
it
a
wa-
pony when they're
No, it-
down and insulting them that harshly in one cold, calculated, careless
That's
utterance
what she
was
does.
awful.
There
Scootaloo
is
felt
that.
nauseous. No blood,
You are
no
done.
bits, nothing like that.
Just
the sick
organs.
feeling in the pit of her stomach quickly burned away in the
Told you
fire
organs.
of her
Storm-
freshly
sto-
born
sto-
anger.
Stomach.
Diamond Tiara was much worse
Stomach's
than
an organ,
just
right?
not a good
Pretty
pony.
sure. Organs are
Her
internal
eyes met the bully's,
stuff that helps
and
you
she saw
breathe.
a mirthful gaze staring back. It disgusted her.
All right, so every pony meet back here in 1 hour, okay?
Idiot.
Scootaloo
No wonder why
shook
she
herself
failed
out of it
everything, bruh.
and whipped her head around to find all the foals dispersing across the grounds.
I'll be right back.
She made a beeline for the spoiled filly with the unsettling smile. She caught her alone on a fringe of trees just east of the lake.
What's wrong with you?
Huh? What are you talking about?
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Diamond Tiara yawned.
Oh, that. You're the one who said it, not me.
She smiled. Stamping a hoof, Scootaloo growled.
Bro.
That's a load of horse apples.
So what if it is, huh? What are you gonna do?
You're awful. I can tell Miss Cherylee.
Yeah, go
No,
ahead.
you-
See what will happen.
No, you can't. You totally can't do that.
We get it.
Diamond Tiara giggled, then chuckled, then doubled over laughing.
Why not?
Because then I would tell her you cheated.
You.
Not to mention, you still owe me 2 more favors.
Scootaloo shook her head vigorously and took 2 steps back.
No way! Nuh-uh. I'm not gonna help you hurt any more ponies.
Smiling that crooked smile and holding
Really?
back another laugh,
You're not going to
Diamond
help her
Tiara
hurt any
leveled
more
a chilling
ponies.
glare at Scootaloo.
Yes,
Why not?
you will. It doesn't matter if you tell the teacher or if you tell your friends
Scootaloo hanging off
or
a
if
cliff?
you break your promise. If you cross me, I'll tell Miss Cheerilee what a bad little filly you've been.
Horror dawned on Scootaloo's face as she realized the depth of her predicament.
No, that damn
Her
jar
jaw
falling off
worked
the-
futilely as her
I didn't see
brain
the-
failed to retort,
I didn't see this picture in the thumbnail. I mean, I seen the thumbnail, but I didn't pay attention to it, so I don't really know what's going
and
on
her
in the
stomach sank. Diamond Tiara slithered up to her.
Look, it's only 2 more, and then you're free to go. Just do what I tell you, and everything will be fine.
picture. No, it won't.
Scootaloo gulped, and her
It's
eyes
not gonna be
quivered.
fine. I
You
promise
know,
you
I
that.
think now's a good time to call in the second favor. What do you think?
That terrible smile crawled across her face again. Tearing her gaze away and blinking away a few drops of moisture, Scootaloo deflated.
What do I have to do?
Push Twist into the lake.
What?
You heard me?
I can't do that! That's not part of the deal! You said no blood!
Relax. She knows how to swim, and there's a lifeguard on duty too. Besides, how could a little dip make her bleed?
Scootaloo closed her eyes and took a deep breath. A harmless
She
prank.
don't know how to
No
swim.
pony would suffer any lasting
And
damage.
the lifeguard's not going to get to her here in time. She's going to die.
One more thing, and then
What's
you
on,
swear
Grandpa?
I'm free? Those are all the 3 favors. The deal is finished, and I never have to talk to you again?
Cross my heart.
How can I trust that you even have one?
Tapping a hoof against her chin, Diamond Tiara sat and thought.
How about I give you some ammo you can use against me if I go back on my word?
Yeah,
I gotta stop
Right.
pausing.
like you'd put yourself in a bad position.
It's not a bad position at all. It totally gives you a way to trust me so we complete our deal without any problems.
Scootaloo's wings flared, and her
What
coat
is she
stood on
doing
end,
right now,
alive with
bro?
electric anger.
Our brain's too
And
slow
how do
for
you know
this.
I won't turn around and use it against you anyway? Huh? Did you think about that?
Diamond Tiara giggled again.
Don't make me spend all day laughing. Of course you wouldn't. You're like way too goody-goody for that.
Fine. Give it to me.
Scootaloo spat.
I'm terrified of heights.
That's it?
That's it.
Scootaloo lowered her wings and closed her eyes again, exhaling a long breath.
What choice do I even have?
Diamond Tiara slapped a hoof on her back.
That's the spirit.
She shuddered and spun around, trotting limply toward the lake. As luck would have it, Twist happened to be within shoving distance already. Scootaloo steeled herself and swallowed a fresh lump in her throat, the largest yet.
Not this
At least this
music
time
now.
there were no conditions
Hold
on
up.
how it had to be done. She decided in swift order to pretend it was an accident. Aiming herself at her hapless classmate, she tensed her legs and mouthed an apology. Then she rocketed into her with a tremendous slam and pinballed away toward the opposite edge of the woods, tears streaming down her face. She heard a scream.
That
and
was a
series of
long
sputters.
drop.
She couldn't close her ears to the rotten fruits of her labor, and she couldn't bring herself to face another pony just then. So she continued to run until she was well ensconced in the woods, just barely able to see out into the clearing, coming to rest at the foot of an apple tree.
Scootaloo, what are y'all doing over here?
Apple Bloom called,
Over you, bro.
squeezing at the
Back to
shuddering
your
heap on
voice.
the ground. Rather than answer, Scootaloo covered her head with her hooves and moistened the dirt with her tears.
Scootaloo? Y'all alright?
Choking back a wide enough space in her sobs to speak, Scootaloo responded,
No, I'm not alright.
Her voice was muffled. Apple Bloom stroked her softly.
What's wrong? I'm sure we can.
No! We can't!
Her head snapped up, and fresh streams poured down her
This
face.
ain't no grimdark now.
I pushed Twist into the lake!
What? Scoot, why?
Tiny Tiara told me to do it. I wasn't gonna get to come and I couldn't do it, Apple Bloom. No matter how hard I studied, there was no way. And she helped me. But I never should have listened to her because now if I don't do what she says, she'll tell Miss Cheerilee that I cheated and...
That's not good enough. Getting caught cheating is one thing, but Twist can't swim.
Wailing twice as loud as before, Scootaloo fell to the ground once more and let her heart spill out around her. Apple Bloom stood and glanced out toward the
I
lake.
knew it. She dead.
I gotta go see if she's allowed to help pull her out of the lake or something. Don't y'all go nowhere. I'll be back.
She shouted before galloping away and leaving
Woo! Bro.
Scootaloo alone on the forest floor with her tears. A series of short silences, punctuated by gagging, coughing, retching sobs, echoed throughout the lonely stretch of woods. An apple came tumbling off of a small ripe pile at the base of the tree and thudded softly against Scootaloo's side. She blinked and stared blearily in the direction it had come from, to find a hateful pink monster standing smugly behind the apples.
Before you say anything, I want you to know that I totally didn't know Twist couldn't swim. Swear! Also, though, she's pretty much okay. They're still keeping an eye on her because she's unconscious, but she's out of the lake and she's breathing. So, no blood.
Diamond Tiara smiled with a crooked little smile.
Anyways, I got a real good one for your third favor.
In an instant, Scootaloo was off the ground and in her face.
No! I won't do it! I won't hurt any more ponies. I don't care what you say or who you say it to. It's not worth pretending I haven't any honor to hold on to if it means I have to...
She patted Scootaloo.
There. I thought this might happen, so
I take her hoof and I will rip it off.
went ahead and got one extra piece of insurance lined up for you. Do you have any idea where Sweetie Belle went?
Scootaloo's jaw dropped. Her pupils disappeared. Her body shook.
No?
The thing is, I think she might be lost. Lots of trails snaking through the forest that look all the same. It could happen to any pony.
Why? Why me? What did I ever do to you?
Does it matter? I'm a bully, right? This is what I do.
I know you're a bully, but this is too much, even for you. You were always a jerk, but I never realized just how evil you could be. This isn't right. How can any pony be this cold?
Girl, shut up.
This heartless.
I mean, you're the one
say that
doing
like
it.
it's a bad thing.
Diamond Tiara sneered and turned her
What's
back
the
on
other
Scootaloo.
type of
A
insurance
heart
or
is
whatever?
a weak point. All it'll ever do is hold you back.
When she looked back over her shoulder, the sobbing mess of a filly was gone.
Scootaloo's dumb. Let's be for real with ourselves right now. Scootaloo's stupid.
Scootaloo had done
Trusting
enough damage
your
already
enemy,
for the
worst
stupidest
enemy
and
at
most
that.
selfish reasons imaginable, and she would have no more suffering on her conscience. Blurring frantically through the woodland trails, calling out for Sweetie Belle, she didn't notice or care when night fell. She continued her search by the light of the moon and the stars, galloping
Sweetie
over
Belle's
dozens of
not
miles
really
of wilderness. She ploughed through foliage without regard
She's
for
right
the
there. She's
ever-increasing
not
bruises
lost.
and scrapes developing all along
Why would
her
you
body.
listen to her?
And
She already lied to you about
cried
Twist not
and
being able
cried
to
out,
swim. She probably lied about
desperate to
not
find
knowing
her
that Twist
friend.
couldn't swim.
Sweetie Belle! Sweetie Belle!
You find her?
Finally, one of her calls was answered by a shaking, cracking voice.
Sweetie Belle!
She actually lost.
Scootaloo's
She
eyes
didn't
lit
sound
up,
like she was actually
and her
scared.
heart soared.
So
Scootaloo? I was so scared. Silver Spoon said she was gonna show me.
Not stopping to converse,
Silver Spoon said she was gonna show me.
what?
I was so scared. Silver Spoon said she was gonna show me.
Silver Spoon said she was going to shield me. And was that Scootaloo or Sweetie Belle talking?
Scootaloo's eyes lit up and her heart soared.
Scootaloo? Oh, I was so scared.
Scootaloo.
Silver Spoon said she was gonna show me.
Not stopping to converse, Scootaloo continued her sprint into a fierce, tackling hug. Stopping to converse.
Scared. Silver Spoon said she was gonna show me.
Show
Not
me.
stopping to converse,
That might be
Scootaloo
right.
continued her sprint into a fierce, tackling hug that sent the two of them rolling across the ground.
I'm so sorry. It's
She's
all
perfectly
my
fine.
fault.
She's perfectly
Please.
fine.
Please, don't hate me.
She sobbed into Sweetie Belle's dirty, matted coat.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I was just... It doesn't matter.
She managed, between bouts of choking back waves of tears.
I just need you to know that I'm more sorry than you can ever know for getting you dragged into this. Now that I know you're safe, I'll take all the detention and grounding and grill for dinner if I have to.
Bro,
But Diamond
shut
Tiara
up.
isn't going to get
She's
away with
perfectly
this.
fine.
Sweetie Belle's eyes softened, and she tightened her end of the embrace.
That's really great, Scootaloo. But, how do we get back?
Scootaloo released her hold and stood up, offering a hoof to help Sweetie Belle stand.
I'm not sure, but between the two of us, we can figure something out. The constellations can be used to figure out directions, right?
Oh yeah,
She
Stark, I
smiled
forgot
warmly.
about that. I was about to say,
The
what?
situation isn't unsalvageable. Right. Okay, so we know the Whitetail Woods are to the west of Ponyville. So for sure, if we go east,
Go.
we can get out of the forest, right?
Sweetie Belle
I
nodded.
thought Sweetie Belle said that
Right.
word before.
I think east is that way.
She pointed a hoof off into one of the 4 identically dim directions.
Awesome. Well, not awesome. There's a big cliff over there that I don't think we can climb down.
Squinting into the darkness, Scootaloo made out a craggy ledge that did indeed look too steep to traverse. She swiveled her head to the left and the right to see if it would be
So I was looking for my energy drink, the Monster. I was looking for it.
possible to
Stop. I knew I drank it all. I just forgot. Looked down, didn't find it. Looked in the trash can, and there it was. I'm like, And then like, oh. I
go
finished it.
around, but her attention snapped back behind her when she heard another voice shouting.
Diamond, I found them.
2 sets of hooves pounded viciously toward her, and the shadowy shapes approaching resolved
That's
into
how
Silver
Diamond
Spoon
Spoon
and
is too.
Diamond Tiara.
That's how Silver Spoon and Diamond Tiara get there. But how did Apple Bloom get there?
I'm totally glad we found you two. Cheerilee is freaking out, you know? You shouldn't wander off on your own like that.
It's over, Diamond. I found Sweetie Belle. Twist isn't dead, and I don't care what my punishment is. I'm taking you down with me.
Diamond Tiara faked a shiver.
Oh, I'm shaking. You've got nothing on me. It's your word against mine, and I happen to have a rich, powerful family backing me up.
She's
You know
got
you're
my
afraid
word
of heights.
too.
Sweetie Belle shouted, standing tall and firm.
Great. I've also got Silver here too, so it's 2 against 2 and we're back to where we started.
It's gonna be 2
Do
against
you
3 in a
really,
second.
I mean, really think you can win? I'm better than you. I've played you like a fiddle from the start.
Diamond Tiara's lips curved as if to smile, but the ghastly expression that washed over her face could hardly be compared to anything so positive.
Do you want to know the very best part about all of this?
What?
Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo glared at her,
You're not really afraid
while
of
Silver
heights?
Spoon dropped to one side.
You never even needed me. Do you know why you didn't get a perfect score? It's because I didn't touch your last math test. You got the grade you needed all on your own. You've been serving me for no reason at all.
Oh. Oh, snap. Oh. Bro. No, that's just wrong. That's just...
She cackled as a gust of wind blew through the clearing and a sheet of rain started to fall.
Bro.
In fact, I changed your answers on the test before that to take you down a peg. When you got all worried about your grades and started studying all the time, it totally worked. You got way smart all of a sudden, and I just dragged you back down.
Silver Spoon's sudden glare could burn a hole through steel.
Is that what happened? You know my parents grounded me, right?
You were going to go to Canterlot without me.
Diamond Tiara seethed.
Only because you were grounded.
Like, duh.
I had plans. I was going to...
Yawn, what does it matter?
Ugh, you jerk!
Silver Spoon shouted and tackled Diamond Tiara. The two of them
what?
sailed toward
Lot without me.
Diamond Tiara seethed.
Only because you were grounded.
Like, duh.
Oh, so this is Silver Spoon talking. Hold up, let me rewind a little bit. I thought it was Scootaloo.
Dragged you back down.
Silver Spoon's sudden glare could burn a hole through steel.
Is that what happened? You know my parents grounded me, right?
You were going to go to Canterlot without me.
Diamond Tiara seethed.
Only because you were grounded.
Like, duh.
I had plans. I
don't
was
get it.
going to...
Yawn, what does it matter?
Ugh, you jerk!
Silver Spoon shouted and tackled Diamond Tiara. The two of them sailed towards the cliff
That
before
made no sense
crashing
to
to
me.
the ground and rolling around in a sweaty struggle.
I don't know why, that doesn't
Silver
make sense to
Spoon
me.
managed to pin Diamond Tiara for a moment before she rolled and bucked her into the air.
Ugh.
Silver Spoon landed with a thud on the rain-slick surface and scrambled to
Ow!
her hooves, panting.
We're done. I'm going to side with these two when they talk to Cheerily. 3 against 1.
What?
Diamond Tiara wheezed.
I'm not your friend anymore, Diamond.
You never were. Opening your weak points is stupid.
You're a monster.
Scootaloo's voice dripped with visceral contempt.
And you're an idiot.
I can't even hate you.
Fact.
All I can do is feel sorry for you because you have nothing. Give it up.
What do you know?
Diamond Tiara screamed, dashing towards Scootaloo with thrashing
No!
limbs.
The cliff!
She slipped on the muddy rock beneath her
Oh, you slipped,
and
you
went
dumb.
careening over the edge of the cliff, grasping the lip with her front hooves. Her eyes went wide and her lip trembled. Instantly, deep wells of tears sprung up in both of her eyes,
Where did apple
and she
bloom
began
come
to
from?
wail. Scootaloo dove towards her and grabbed her left hoof, but
Yeah, so far this has been good, but I can tell that was definitely a fake whelp. You know, I can tell it wasn't really. Cause if I was hanging over a cliff, I would be like, oh, I'd be like, nah, I'd be like, ah! Ah! Yeah, I wouldn't have vocals after that. I'm just saying.
was smacked away by Diamond
I
Tiara.
wouldn't be like, nah, I'm screaming like, ah! I'm just
Was
saying.
panicked, flailing.
She's afraid
Like
of
Taylor
heights.
Swift.
Scootaloo whispered to herself before shouting.
Both of you, help me. We have to pull her up.
But as she thrust her hoof forward to try again, a gust of wind knocked the awful filly loose, and she began to plummet, going completely still with shock. Darkness consumed the bottom of the ravine, so how far she'd fall was a mystery.
No!
Scootaloo yelled, diving over the edge and straightening her body into an arrow.
Oh, you
She
are
sliced through the air and
dumb!
quickly caught up with her target, inching just past her, before spreading herself out to slow her fall and catching the filly in her hooves. Instinctively,
Yeah, now
her
you're both
wings spread
dead.
as well, and she was more than surprised
No.
to find them
No, this is not canon. None of this is canon, first of all. So I guess it don't matter, but shut up. She can't fly. She never was able to. Shut up. Even in season 9, episode 26, hopefully, 26, her wings are still small, she couldn't fly, and she was a grown mare. So, in that case,
flapping, seemingly of their own accord. More startling still was that her fall was slowing noticeably. Her tired body ached, and the muscles in her wings screamed in protest at trying to carry the weight of 2 souls when they'd not yet mastered one. But she pushed her way through the pain and strained and strained and strained herself until, as if by a miracle, she blinked and found herself gasping for air on the platform above, practically drowning in the torrent of rain splashing into her open mouth. She sputtered and coughed, turning her head to the side to avoid taking in more water. A sound like thunder roared over the horizon. 1 pony, then 2, then a dozen, all surged out of the trees
A
and
dozen?
surrounded the fillies, assessing their conditions and shouting that they'd found them. Diamond Tiara blinked several times before uttering one word.
Why?
The ponies attending to her tried
Why
asking
are you
questions,
questioning?
but received no answer as she
Why are
only
you questioning?
repeated her pressing inquiry.
Why?
Scootaloo shifted her gaze toward the pony whose life she'd saved. She coughed.
Because whether you're good or bad, you're still a pony.
She
No.
stated, coughing again as
That's like saying to Satan himself, you're good or bad, you're still alive. No. No. Demons are not good. She is a demon. So, my question to you, Scootaloo, is why? Whether you're good or evil, you're still a demon, Satan. You deserve death. I'm just saying. Like, that is stupid logic. Let's get out of the
punctuation.
spiritual realm right quick. Get back to reality.
Because I
Get back to
have
the
a
physical realm.
heart.
A sparkling light danced across Scootaloo's flank.
Oh, cutie mark. I thought I was about to say, if you become an alicorn, I'm done. I'm deleting this channel. But I don't have to. I wouldn't
And
do
she
that.
fell asleep, exhausted from the ordeal.
And cutie mark. Bro. Bro. That was fire. That was cool. Yo, Scribbly, you do ASMR? I didn't know that. Thank you to your Patreons. To embody loveliness every day. Thank you. Thank you to my Patreons who embody loveliness every day. There we go. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. Pokemon Fan 613, is that what that says? Yeah, that's the last one too, isn't it? Pokemon Fan 613, shout out to you. That guy. Emerald Pyre or whatever. Anyways, I'm gonna go end this video here. It's almost an hour long. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, subscribe to the comment notification, share. And yeah, I'd probably do if Apple made a city the movie. Is that what it's called? Oh shoot, mouse sped up. Yeah, if Apple made a city the movie. And then I'll probably do MLP Infection AU Part 1 Twilight Grimdark next. I've already watched that video. Let me try to delete it without clicking on it. Alright. Well. Okay. Yeah, so. A Scribbler reading her fanfics. I'm going to end this here. See y'all in the next one. Peace out.